we're now presenting S36, S37 UPRT. I have selected the master index, press the UPRT button, and we have a selection of different items. On the scenario control, we have maneuvers, recovery training. I'm going to tap it, and we can see the different options that I have on the maneuver base, different altitudes, and to execute. They're gray out because right now I'm at the gate, but once I have the engines running and I have selected direct alternate lock, they will be available. The next element is the scenario prevention training. Again, this is a scenario base to do the startle effect. They're gray out, but they should be available once I have the engine running and the aircraft is on flight. You can see the definition of what it will do. Automate stall entry is gray out, but it should be available once we have the engines running. We have longitudinal wind shear. I can select a different wake turbulence intensity to create a wake turbulence scenario, the rate, and I can select the longitudinal wind shear effect. On the bottom, I have instructor feedback, similar envelope, and this is to see and show the trainees where they were on the maneuvers that we were practicing. If I press UPRT index, I go back to the previous menu. Again, instructor feedback, aircraft limits. This is a good presentation to see the load limits and the stall factor when we practice stalls and approach to stalls. I'm going to press the UPR index again to go back. I'm going to press flight controls and standby instruments. And this allows me to see exactly what the trainees are executing in their rudder, side stick, speed brakes, thrust lever, flaps, and the horizon. The next item is time and history plots. I can see graphs that show me different elements of the session of the UPRT. I have angle attack, load factor, pitch angle, bank angle, altitude, and aircraft speed. On the bottom, I have aircraft limits and controls. And it's a combination of the two previous presentations. I have their aircraft controls and the load factor. Again, it's useful when we practice approach to stall and stalls. Aircraft limits and time history. So again, showing the history and the previous table for approach to stalls. This one will now show us the load factor and aircraft speed. So basically, same concept. You have the load factor graph and the different elements on the history of the maneuver. The last one I have here, I can actually select the roll intensity on preset values. The last four elements that I have not discussed is clear all UPRT plots. I press this, it will should clear all the elements of the previous flight or maneuver that I have executed. Crash inhibit to avoid crashing the simulator. I'm going to deselect it. And then direct law and alternate law selections. This concludes the UPRT, iOS, and S36, S37.